What is up, everybody? Steve K here with you all with another video. So I'm doing something a little different on here right now. As you can see, I'm using a different thing now to do a little bit of a different video here now on my YouTube. I'm going to be trying to do some more streaming videos again. So this one is all about Super Bowl 54. Now, before we begin, I just want to say that sorry that I'm looking this way up there because I'm looking at my television. That's where like my screen is and stuff, because on here I have a busted screen. I have it displayed on my television right over here and then my laptop right here. So, if I wind up looking over there and, don't look like right here, just forgive me about that. All right. So I hope everybody is doing well. I mean, I just thought I'd do another video here to talk about Super Bowl 54 because it is coming up pretty soon. We have the Pro Bowl that's coming up on Sunday, but next week will be the Super Bowl. So anyway, now I know a lot of you are probably saying to me, I bet you're disappointed that the Ravens are not in it. Well, yes, truthfully, I mean, yeah, I am disappointed that we're not in it, but we finished the season very, very good. We were 14-2, which is the best finish in Ravens history. Our best finish was 13-3, going back to 2006 when Steve McNair was our quarterback, and we had Jamal Lewis, Ray Lewis, Derek Mason, Mark Clayton, Todd Heap. I could name a bunch of them on there. Like Jonathan Ogden was still there. Edwin Mulatalo, I think, was injured. He was one of our guard players. Mike Flynn, Terrell Suggs, who was a fairly new player at that time. Then you also had Anthony Weaver, I think. I don't know about him, though. Adalius Thomas. Don't really know that well. Austin, not sure who you are exactly, but I'm sure like I'll subscribe to you. I mean, I don't really know you very well, but nice to meet you anyway. But as I see my comments on there, but anyway. So anyway, Ray Lewis, as I mentioned, who was still there. Bart Scott. Peter Boulware, I think, was still in the team, but he was injured and he missed the rest of the season. Chris McAllister, Will Demps, I think, Ed Reed, Matt Stover, and I think Dave Zastadil was still the punter. I think it was, and before it became Sam Cook, I think. But anyway, so, and of course, with the team we have now, like Lamar Jackson has been doing really, really well. And we also got the rest of the players, like the new acquisition, Mark Ingram, who's a new running back for us. He did pretty well. And a few other running backs too. But even though Lamar Jackson did like a lot of running plays too and all that, but he still got the job done. I mean, he can throw, and yes, he does run a lot, but it gets the job done, as I said many times. We only lost to 2 teams. Well, truthfully, we only should have lost just to 1 team, which I'm pretty... I understand the fact of us losing to the Kansas City Chiefs because that was a crazy game. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Nice to meet you. As I said, but as I said, I mean, lost track of stuff a little bit anyway. But yeah, I can understand us losing to the Kansas City Chiefs, but us losing to the Cleveland Browns in that one game that we did against them, which was like week 3 or something, or whatever game it was. I mean, that was ridiculous for us to lose that game. I mean, it really was. We should never have lost that. And people kept talking and saying that the Cleveland Browns were going to win and be in first place and win the AFC North. And look what happened. They fired their coach recently. So, yeah, they fired another coach on their team, and they just can't really make up their mind. I mean, this is going to be my honest opinion. I mean, I would like to see maybe one of the former quarterbacks be the coach for the Cleveland Browns, like maybe Brady Quinn. That may be a bad choice. And Derek Anderson, who used to be a Raven one time, I mean, that's probably another bad choice. But Jeff Garcia, I think, played for them before. I mean, he's not bad of a coach. And then you also got Trent Dilfer, who also played for them. And I think Tim Couch did as well. But, I mean, they've gone through a lot of coaches. And the Cleveland Browns, they did okay this season. The only thing they did do good was they beat the Steelers one time, and that was about it. I wanted to see them sweep them. I'm doing fine, Austin. How are you? And I just thought pretty much that they were definitely going to sweep them, but that's the way it goes. So anyway, now to get back onto the topic of the Super Bowl. But anyway, as I said, I'm glad that the Ravens had a really good season, and I hope that we do really, really well in 2021. I mean, I don't see why not that the Ravens would repeat again. I mean, I don't think we'll have another 14-2 season. I mean, but it would be really nice to have one, or maybe a 13-3 season. But I think we have to face the Chiefs for next season again, and I think we got the Patriots again too, and I think a couple of teams that we did not play in the 2019-20 season, but we'll see. So anyway, but even though the Tennessee Titans did beat us, and I'm really disappointed about that happening, but I'm kind of glad that the Kansas City Chiefs, beat them, because the Chiefs, look like a team to win the Super Bowl now, and I mean, the Titans just certainly look like an underdog at first, but I mean, pretty much now they've been eliminated by the Chiefs, but I'm a little disappointed that the 49ers beat the Green Bay Packers. I wanted to be Kansas City Chiefs and Green Bay Packers in the Super Bowl, just like the first Super Bowl. So instead, it's a battle of two red teams, the Chiefs and the 49ers. I think I'll go with the red team to win. What red team, you may ask, but I kind of already said it when I said the Chiefs were my Super Bowl pick, and they are. Because if I want to say that the Kansas City Chiefs have not won a Super Bowl, but I know the 49ers have. They won several, going back to the Joe Montana and Steve Young era, but I could be wrong. I think the Kansas City Chiefs did win a Super Bowl, but I don't know. I'm going to look it up real quick and see if it tells me on there when about the Kansas City Chiefs to see if they won the Super Bowl or not. I mean, I'm pretty sure that they did. Let's take a look here. Okay, looks like they've won one. 57 subscribers. That's good. That's good. I mean, are you just starting out on YouTube or something? I mean, or have you been on YouTube for a while? I mean, just curious, like how long you've been on YouTube. Damn phone on here keeps going slow on me, and I don't know why it's doing this. Sorry, folks. I'm just trying to get it up on here. Well, it says AFL NFL, which sorry to repeat that, which is what it used to be called. Here we go. They won Super Bowl IV against the Minnesota Vikings, and that's the only Super Bowl they've won. That was back in 1969. They won the AFC Championship a while ago, and they won the Conference Championship in 2019. So now the AFC West, they have done it 4 years in a row, I believe. Oh, hey, Carla, how you doing? Good to hear from you. But, yeah, it should be interesting. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, 1969 was the last year that the Kansas City Chiefs did win the Super Bowl, which is crazy. I mean, they are definitely overdue. I mean, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 50, over 50 years since they've last won it. That is crazy. So they're pretty much due to win it. Now, for the other team, the San Francisco 49ers, the 49ers last played in the Super Bowl against the Ravens in 2013, which the Ravens won. Now, it looked like the Ravens were running away with it, but the 49ers at that time had Colin Kaepernick as their quarterback, and I think Vernon Davis was their tight end, and I think Patrick Willis may have been on the team, but I don't know if he was retired. I mean, but I'm going to look it up real quick. Super Bowl 47, because I just want to look on here just exactly, which we called the Harbaugh Bowl as well. Yeah, 51 years is definitely a long drought. The 49ers are even favored to win over us. So anyway, here we go. So for the Ravens, of course, we had Joe Flacco, Ray Rice, Torrey Smith, Anquan Bolden, Jacoby Jones, Ray Lewis was still there, and Ed Reed was still there. It wound up being their last games as Ray Lewis retired and Ed Reed went to another team. And Anquan Bolden went to another team as well, too. Torrey Smith stayed, Jacoby Jones stayed, and a bunch of others, too, as well did. Yeah, and as for the 49ers, Colin Kaepernick, Frank Gore, who I believe is still playing. I think he's with the Bills. Patrick Willis was there, and Randy Moss was one of their wide receivers who is now in the Hall of Fame, along with Ray Lewis and Ed Reed. Ed Reed just recently was inducted to the Hall of Fame. So, and the last time the 49ers won the Super Bowl, I believe, was 1995 in Super Bowl 29, I want to say, or 28, one of them. Super Bowl 29 was the 49ers and the Chargers, which was a big blowout. It was 49-26. I don't know who the CEO of YouTube is, but yeah, this was a very, good one. I didn't really watch it on television, though, but I remember when this was on there. So their last Super Bowl win was 1995, which is about 15 years. Well, almost 15 years, pretty much, I think. Yeah. So as for this, I mean, so pretty much both of these teams are pretty much overdue for a Super Bowl. But the one that's really overdue to me, once again, is the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, I'm a fan of Patrick Mahomes. The guy is a great quarterback. But for the rest of the team, I really don't know because I don't really pay attention to the rest of them. I really should. I mean, that running back for the Tennessee Titans, Derrick Henry, I believe, was just absolutely going on a tear. He went on a tear against the Patriots. He did good against us, and he was doing pretty good against the Chiefs, but it just wasn't enough for them to win the game. So now, as I look up the roster of the Kansas City Chiefs, I just want to look on here and see. I made a mistake on that, Carlos. Sorry. 25. My math gets to me sometimes. Sorry. 25 years, so not 15. Anyway, they have two quarterbacks on the squad here, as I see, which are Chad Henne and Matt Moore. Chad Henne, if you don't remember him, was a former quarterback for the Miami Dolphins back in the day. Also played for the Jaguars for several seasons. And Matt Moore, I believe, I thought he used to be a backup for Tom Brady, but that's another person. He played for the Dolphins for a pretty good while as well. So both of them, two former Miami Dolphin quarterbacks. But I think Matt Moore had some playing time because Patrick Mahomes had a little bit of an injury and then he wound up coming back, I think. But the Chiefs still managed to do pretty good. So they have LaShawn McCoy at running back. I definitely remember him, and the rest of them too. Tyreek Hill is pretty good. Sammy Watkins. Travis Kelce. Yeah, I think that's how it's pronounced. And, of course, they have Terrell Suggs, somebody I forgot to mention. Terrell Suggs signed a contract with the Arizona Cardinals, but they cut his contract and they released him. So instead, he goes to the Kansas City Chiefs. We wanted him to return to the Ravens, but it wound up not happening because there's a possibility that he's probably moved on. But as his choice, I mean, we thought for sure that he would come back. So now, the rest of the squad, I don't really know that much. Tyrann Mathieu, I think, something like that. I think I remember that name, when I would play games of Madden Football on PS3 or Xbox 360, or PS4, I think, as well, or Xbox One, maybe, or even PlayStation 2, I think. But I don't think that guy was playing yet at that time. But anyway, and the kicker, Harrison Butker, I believe his name is, and Dustin Colquitt. I think these guys, I think Colquitt has been with the team for a while, since 2005. So yeah, and Butker has only been with the team since 2017. He's a fairly new person. You ever heard of Donovan's Den of Games? No, I have not. Sorry, But as for the San Francisco 49ers, their squad consists of their quarterback, who is Jimmy Garoppolo. Now, Jimmy Garoppolo, if you don't remember him, used to be a backup for Tom Brady, because I was thinking of the person who used to be a backup for Tom Brady, and pretty sure that Jimmy Garoppolo was, because he played for them from 2014 to 2017. So now he becomes a starting quarterback for the 49ers, and he's done pretty well. And believe this or not, if Jimmy Garoppolo actually wins the Super Bowl with the 49ers, it'll be his third Super Bowl ring. And yeah, why does he have 2 rings? Because he was a backup for Tom Brady. They won it in Super Bowl. Which one was this? The Super Bowl from 2015 and the Super Bowl recently against the against the Falcons, the biggest comeback that that Tom Brady did. The Patriots were down 28-3, and they came back and won the darn thing, which is amazing. Even though I was rooting for the Falcons to win, but that was a really amazing comeback by them. But anyway, that's pretty crazy that would be his third Super Bowl ring if they win. And of course, the Patriots did not make the Super Bowl or the rest of the playoffs. They made the wild card, but they lost in an upset to the Titans, which is pretty crazy. Now there's rumors that maybe Tom Brady might go to another team. I was talking with my cousin yesterday, and I said, I think he's going to go to the Steelers. And he's like, Steelers? And I'm like, yeah, because Ben Roethlisberger is getting up there in age. I think, honestly, he needs to retire. And they got 2 quarterbacks, Devlin Hodges and Mason Rudolph. And I think personally that one of them is probably going to go to another team. I think Mason Rudolph is probably just going to go to another team, maybe be a backup or maybe play a little bit. But that may not happen, though, because I personally don't think he will go to the Steelers, but it is a possibility. Some people said he should go to the Raiders, the new Las Vegas Raiders. I mean, that's kind of weird, saying the name Las Vegas Raiders, because I've been used to calling them the Oakland Raiders, and at one time they used to be known as the Los Angeles Raiders back in the, I think, 80s or so, or whatever year it was, something like that. And the Chargers are now the Los Angeles Chargers, and they used to be known as the San Diego Chargers. But, yeah. Some people think that Tom Brady might go to the Miami Dolphins. What would Alex Putnam say? Putnam would probably say no way, because I don't even know if he's a fan of Tom Brady, for one, because of the fact that I know he's not a Patriots fan and a Steelers fan too. But Tom Brady going to another team that's in the division, because they're part of the AFC East, because the Patriots and Dolphins, I mean, they always have a rivalry game, but him going to the Dolphins, in my opinion, would not make sense. But if it happens, it happens. But I just don't really know about that. I mean, because for one, Tom Brady has always had several years with the Patriots going all the way back to the early 2000s. And in my opinion, it wouldn't make sense if he left. I'm pretty sure he's going to stay. I think it's going to be like a 2-year deal or a 1-year deal, and it could wind up being his last season. And I think if Tom Brady retires, Bill Belichick is going to retire too, and then they're going to need a new coach. Well, why not make Tom Brady the head coach instead? I mean, he can be the head coach of them, and then whoever their quarterback will be for the Patriots whenever he retires, it will probably be their second string, or they'll probably go on the market and look for somebody to be the backup quarterback. But I don't know personally who it would be. I mean, because right now their backup, well, the quarterbacks they have now are Cody Kessler and Jarrett Stidham. I guess that's how it's pronounced. But it probably would be Cody Kessler, because he's spent some time with the Browns and the Jaguars and the Eagles, been in the practice squad. So, but like I said, I'm pretty sure that Tom Brady would return. I mean, again, it just would not make sense for him to go to another team, as we can definitely rule out the Ravens that he's, not going to come there. The guy is 42, but who knows? I mean, you never know just what he might do. I mean, he might stay or he might retire, but I read a rumor that he agreed to a 2-year deal to return to the Patriots, but I don't know yet. But anyway, let's get back to the Super Bowl. So Super Bowl 54, the battle of 2 red teams, as I said. Yeah, that is a possibility. He could play till he's 45, but I believe he could probably play till he's 50. But he doesn't really need to do anymore. I mean, because for one, he's already broken a lot of records. He's thrown a lot of touchdown passes, but he's not the all-time leader in touchdowns. I believe it's Drew Brees right now, because he passed Peyton Manning. And Tom Brady would need to keep playing in order to pass them, but Drew Brees, I believe, is still going to play too, but I don't know yet because I think he's either 40 or 41. I don't think he's the same age as Tom Brady, but I'll just look real quick. He's 41, okay, but both of them are Hall of Famers. I mean, even though people don't really care for Tom Brady that much, but he is going to be a Hall of Famer. I mean, there's nothing anybody's going to do about that. I mean, the guy has done a lot. I mean, I have some respect for him. I know that's hard for me to say that, being a Ravens fan, but he's put up a lot of good games against the Ravens. But anyway, so for Super Bowl 54, as I said, now the person who is supposed to sing the national anthem is supposed to be Demi Lovato. Now, I'm not too thrilled about that because I'm not a Demi Lovato fan. I mean, she's okay. I mean, I'll just say that, but I haven't really listened to her music a lot, and I'm just not sure about that. I mean, she used to be on the show Barney and Friends, as it says according to Wikipedia, and was in the musical television film Camp Rock, and its sequel Camp Rock 2. And she's only 27 years young, and like I said, I just don't really listen to her music that much. So we'll see about that. I mean, the Super Bowl from last year, Super Bowl 53, I completely forgot who sang the national anthem, but I think I'm trying to get this thing to work on here as I'm trying to look up some information here, but frickin' Wikipedia keeps messing me up. The national anthem was sung by Gladys Knight at Super Bowl 53, and the halftime show was Maroon 5 featuring Travis Scott and Big Boy. And honestly, that halftime show was okay. I mean, not really a whole lot to say about it because of the fact that I just wasn't too big about it. I mean, Maroon 5 is a pretty good band, and of course for the Super Bowl, this one was a disaster. The first quarter ended with 0-0, and then the Patriots got 3 in the second quarter, and that was it. And then the Rams got 3, and then the Patriots got 10 and won it 13-3. Yeah. It's on a show called Sunny with a Chance on Disney. Some of her music is good. Okay, well, I have to give a listen to her. But, yeah, the Patriots were favored to win this one. Have you ever heard of the YouTuber Angry Grandpa? I don't know. I can't say that I have. I mean, I'm not sure. But, yeah, the wrong team was in the Super Bowl. I mean, the Patriots was one, but the other team should have been the Saints. It should have been Drew Brees versus Tom Brady. It really should have been. Now, as for this one, Super Bowl 54, the halftime show is going to be Jennifer Lopez and Shakira. And of course, when I first found out about this, I'm like, are you kidding me? Because for one, the last time that they had a good person that performed at the Super Bowl halftime show, in my opinion, was Prince. And Tom Petty from like 2006 or 7, whatever year that was. Now, I'm going to go over the halftime shows just a little bit because I can, and it's my video. The halftime show, Justin Timberlake in 2018, that was a good one. Justin Timberlake put on a good show and sang a lot of good music. But I kept thinking there was going to be an NSYNC reunion there, and they were going to do Bye Bye Bye, and maybe it's going to be Me. Or maybe a few other of their songs, but they didn't, and it never happened. Super Bowl 51, I believe. Yeah, the comeback. Halftime show was Lady Gaga. I'm not really the biggest fan of Lady Gaga that much, but she put on a pretty good show. I will give her credit for that. Super Bowl 50, which I believe was Peyton Manning's final Super Bowl. Yeah, I believe it was. And the Panthers were, of course, favored to win, but it wound up going to the Broncos. The halftime show was Coldplay featuring Beyonce and Bruno Mars with Mark Ronson. Honestly, did not like this one because I'm not a big fan of Coldplay, not a big fan of Lady or Beyonce, and Bruno Mars is okay though. I mean, he was doing pretty well, but Coldplay is all right. I'll give him credit for that, but not the biggest fan of Beyonce. Only liked him when she was in Destiny's Child, honestly. All right, Super Bowl 49. Let's go back to there. Super Bowl 49 halftime show was Katy Perry featuring Lenny Kravitz, Missy Elliott, and the Arizona State University Sun Devil Marching Band. Not the biggest fan of Katy Perry that much. Lenny Kravitz is good. Missy Elliott, I'm not really big on either. This halftime show was a disappointment. Did not like it. Although a lot of people disagree and stuff and say Missy Elliott and Katy Perry are good as well too, but I'm sorry, I can't get into Katy Perry. Super Bowl 48, the Seahawks against the Broncos. Probably the biggest shutout in Super Bowl history, where the Seahawks won 43-8. The halftime show, Bruno Mars and the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Not a fan of the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I mean, they're okay, once again, but their music is not something I want to listen to all the time. I mean, I've listened to some of their songs, and that's it. They did a song for the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie, and they did a song for the Beavis and Butthead movie, Beavis and Butthead Do America. The song was Love Roller Coaster. The song in the movie, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, was Higher Ground, when the Power Rangers were jumping out of that airplane. One of the coolest scenes in the beginning of the movie. But anyway, as I said about that halftime show, yeah, it was all right. Super Bowl 47, which of course was the Ravens over the 49ers. The halftime show was Beyonce featuring Destiny's Child. I didn't really care for it. I mean, I just honestly was not really too big on it. And of course, the blackout that happened later in the show and all that stuff. But Super Bowl 46, the Giants over the Patriots, kind of a upset, in my opinion, that was. The halftime was Madonna featuring LMFAO, Mia, Nicki Minaj, and CeeLo Green. I used to be a fan of Madonna, but I'm not too big on her music anymore. I mean, I just don't really listen to her a lot. I mean, and as for this one, did not really like it, honestly. Super Bowl 45, which was the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Green Bay Packers. The halftime show was the Black Eyed Peas, Usher, and Slash. This one I barely remember a little bit, but I just didn't really watch it that much. Probably because I just didn't want to watch the halftime show. Probably because I wanted somebody else to play the halftime show. Super Bowl 44, I believe this is. Yep. The Saints over the Colts. The halftime show was The Who. The Who was good. I mean, I'm a fan of The Who. I love Pinball Wizard, Bob O'Reilly, and My Generation. They do. I mean, I thought that their performance was good, but there probably are some people that did not like it. But that's their opinion. Super Bowl. I'm losing count on here. I think this is 43. Yeah. The Pittsburgh Steelers and the Arizona Cardinals halftime show was the Bruce Springsteen, the E Street Band. Not really the biggest fan of Bruce Springsteen that much. I'll just say that it was okay. Super Bowl 42, which was another upset, the Giants over the Patriots, where the Patriots had the undefeated season of 16-0, but could not win the Super Bowl. The halftime show was Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. That was a very good one because I love Tom Petty's music. Yeah, he was definitely a very memorable performance. Super Bowl 41, Colts and Bears. Halftime show in this one was, of course, Prince. This, in my opinion, was the number 2 best one. The number 1 best halftime show, I'm going to say right now, is Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson put on an amazing show in 1992, I think it was, at that Super Bowl. I think that's when it was. I think it was trying to look for it real quick on here. I think it was Super Bowl 26, maybe. Oops, I meant Super Bowl 26. I don't think, was it? No, I think it was was it the next one? Super Bowl 27? Yes, it was Super Bowl 27. So, yep. And of course, the Super Bowl where Janet Jackson had the wardrobe malfunction. Yeah, the Bears. Yeah, I remember that too. I mean, I didn't really see it a lot, but I remember it being all over everywhere. I mean, yeah. But like I said, Michael Jackson was the number one best in my opinion. Prince would be number two. Paul McCartney, I think, would be number three. The Rolling Stones did a good halftime show. U2 did a great halftime show. They probably be in the top five. But I mean, I do like U2, but I need to listen to more of their music. But I mean, yeah, just. And of course, for the Super Bowl halftime show, I want them to get either Kiss or Metallica. But Metallica, just in my opinion, would absolutely put on a really good show because of the songs they have, like Enter Sandman, One, Master of Puppets. It goes on and on and on. I mean, but like I said, it just would be really good if they would do it. But the problem is, if Metallica would do it, then they'd have like a guest with them, like whatever group, basically, or maybe Alice Cooper could do it as well too, because he usually puts on a good show. But of course, the Beatles never did it because of the fact back in the 60s, they had a halftime show, but it was usually a marching band that would do it or just anything like that. I don't think it was like to the late 80s or early 90s or maybe late 80s when they started getting music artists to do the halftime show. But here's a thing, or a true thing. Kiss has been to the Super Bowl before, but they never done the halftime show. They did the pregame show, like when they started, when they did the beginning of like the Super Bowl. You're going to see Kiss on February 13th. Nice, Justin. Lucky. Hope you definitely enjoy that. And yeah, I hope you're doing well, Justin. Haven't heard from you in a while. I mean, good to see you again, or good to hear from you. Can't really see you, because I'm on here, but it's good to hear from you anyway. But yeah, I've always wanted Kiss to do the halftime show, but they never have, probably because of the fact that they probably were asking too much money, or they just thought they didn't want to go with them. But there's more people that have not done the halftime show. Bon Jovi has never done it. The Beach Boys never done it. Say Motley Crue's never done it. Poison's never done it. All kind of hair bands like them have never done the Super Bowl halftime show. I mean, but it's just a very big disappointment that Kiss and Metallica have never done it. Yeah. But anyway, so now back to the current Super Bowl, Super Bowl 54. So once again, I'm going with the Kansas City Chiefs in this. Now, the reason I'm going with the Kansas City Chiefs is because, let me try again. It's because they have Terrell Suggs on the team, who used to be a former Raven from 2003, I believe, or 2002 to 2019, or something like that, or 18, something like that. I think 19. I don't know, but excuse me. So, yeah, Patrick Mahomes, as I said, once again, is a very good quarterback, and the rest of his team, Sammy Watkins and Tyreek Hill. Yeah, many players on there I mentioned that are really good. And this should be a pretty good one. I mean, I know a lot of people are glad the Patriots are not in it because they've been winning a lot. Yeah, they did in the early 80s, and yeah, Queen would have been a good choice too, but yeah, but they weren't really doing like music artists, I think, yet at that time, not till like maybe the late 80s or so, or 90s. I mean, I think it was late 80s, but I don't really know. But yeah, so I'm going once again with the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, the Chiefs are very, very long overdue. I mean, same thing with the 49ers, but the Chiefs have not won it since 1969. And the San Francisco 49ers won it in 1995. 25 years for them and 41 years for, or wait a minute, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 51 years, I'm sorry. So, yeah, I mean, but even if the 49ers win it, I mean, I'm not going to like throw a fit or anything about it. I mean, because both of the teams pretty much do deserve to win it. I mean, they both had very good seasons. The 49ers did play the Ravens, and we barely beat the 49ers because it just was a crazy game, and plus it was raining too. And the Chiefs, they put up a pretty good fight against us, and they did last year when we faced them. And Lamar Jackson was in the game, I think, because I think Joe Flacco was still hurt, and Robert Griffin III or RG3 had to come in and play a little bit, and we still did not get the win. But it's the way it goes. So I'm going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs over the San Francisco 49ers to win. I'm going to say 30 to 24, I think it's going to be. I mean, I think it's going to be pretty much like that. I mean, could be higher than that, but I think it's going to be a lot more than the previous Super Bowl where it was only 13 points. I mean, that's crazy. But you never know what may happen. I mean, we'll definitely see like what happens. I mean, all right, so yep, I think that's all pretty much. I mean, it should be a pretty good one. I mean, I just thought I'd do something different on here and do like a video on here, and I hope everybody enjoyed this though. All right, so I hope this all turns out well. But thanks again for watching this, everybody. So if you like this, please hit the like button, comment, no negative stuff, subscribe. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. And you all take care. And thanks again for watching.